Cly, Tom, or Brooke? Who will be evicted and who will rise to power and become the new head of household? Find out now on Big Brother Cheesecake 7 Chocolate Heaven. Hello, I'm Andrew Shevsik Moonves. Welcome to Big Brother Cheesecake 7 Chocolate Heaven. It's day 29 inside the Big Brother Cheesecake house, and this week Kennedy was the head of household. She nominated Cly and Tom for eviction, and Willy Wonka nominated Brooke as the third nominee. But Owen won the Golden Power Veto in the Big Brother Chocoland Golden Power Veto competition, and chose not to use it, which means in just moments, Cly, Tom, or Brooke will be evicted from the Big Brother Cheesecake 7 house. Who will it be? We'll find out shortly. But first, I will say that the endurance competition, the 24-hour Big Brother musical chairs head of household competition, has concluded. And after 24 hours, I gotta say, I'm very impressed with everybody. Just about everybody put in 110%. And I think this was actually the hardest endurance competition I've ever done. Because, and Brazil is like rolling her eyes now. And so is JoJo. But for JoJo and Brazil lasted 30 hours and 30 minutes, which is a record that will never be broken because we will never go beyond 24 hours again. Brazil did last 30 hours and 30 minutes, but that was a comp where she just had to respond in a certain time frame, whereas in this competition, I was posting something, song lyrics, and then whoever was the last to respond correctly was eliminated. So you couldn't just go away from your phone for, 30 minutes to an hour at a time. You had to basically, if you wanted to win, you had to be prepared all day, every day, or all day for one day, but it was a long day. And so I think this was the hardest one. This was very similar to Season 4, which was called Big Brother Lightning Bolt, where I would post the word Lightning Bolt, and I think if it was in all caps spelled correctly, you had to respond with Lightning Bolt, and whoever was last was eliminated. Very similar, but that one I don't think lasted 24 hours. So I think this was the hardest one. And on top of that, I put in song lyrics, and you had to respond with the correct song lyrics, which did get slightly controversial along the way, but luckily everything sort of worked out. And so the correct person won the head of household competition. Okay, before we get to that, some business to get to. First of all, the Pulse. As we know, Marcin and Lynn from Season 4 have been found. So we are 2 for 4. And Jonah is dead. And who the hell was the other person? Oh, well, I guess it doesn't matter. That person is clearly dead too. I feel like it was somebody else from Season 6. Wow, I can't seem to remember. Oh, Chad. Sorry, it wasn't from Season 6. Yeah. So Chad and Jonah are dead. Marcin and Lynn are still alive. Marcin actually sent me a picture of himself in front of Arby's, and I was like, "Aw, you're at Arby's. That's so adorable." Because he lives 5 minutes away, and he rarely goes, which is very weird. But then he gets to the door, and there was a sign on it saying, "Due to staffing crisis, we are only opening at 4 today." So, I mean, I get it. I could never work at Arby's no matter how much they paid because I would just eat the curly fries all day. And the horsey sauce and the Arby's sauce. And they have the Gold Peak raspberry iced tea in the filter thing, where you just push the button and the iced tea comes out, and I'd just be like, the whole day. So, yeah. But Marcin is still alive, and so is Lynn. So, this week, we are looking for Julian from Season 3. So, I haven't heard really much from Julian in Season 3. He did do Kately's HOH video last season, and I haven't heard from him. So if you're part of Season 3 or if you know Julian, message him and make sure he's still alive for us. It's very, very important that my alumni don't kick the bucket too soon. Too soon? Okay, so Willy Wonka voting is now open and will close at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight. The numbers have gone up every week. We went from 8 to 24 to 27 to 38. A reminder, votes will only be counted, and there were a couple people whose votes I did not count, if the person is in the Big Brother Cheesecake org Facebook group. So if you're going around campaigning for votes, make sure that the people you are campaigning to enter the Big Brother Cheesecake org Facebook group, because I will check that to validate their vote. Obviously, if you've already been Willy Wonka, you cannot be Willy Wonka again. So there's probably out of, what are we at? There will be 12 of you left after this. I'm not going to actually say a number because I don't want to throw people off. So I'm just going to hold back. But I'm sure some of you sleuths have figured it out. What some of you sleuths did not figure out, by the way, I was going to get to this later, but it just dawned on me. All of the songs in the Big Brother Musical Chairs Endurance Competition were from the Manic Music Monday intros in Season 6. So every Monday I put in a song, and in Season 6, every single one of those ones, and it was in order too, was played in the competition. Okay, so that's Willy Wonka. It's open for the Lindor sampler. If Tom or Brooke is evicted, 3 wedges in the case of Tom or 4 wedges in the case of Brooke will open up. And again, if you want some of those wedges, if you still have wedges left over, you must privately message me a video of you eating your favorite chocolate chip cookie and a reason as to why that is your favorite chocolate chip cookie. I was at Subway yesterday and I did not get a chocolate chip cookie even though I was craving it. Maybe next time. Yeah, it depends. It depends because each Subway, they make their cookies different. I used to work in a Longo's grocery store and there was this woman, Irina, who basically took the cookies out like halfway before they were done. And so the cookies were so moist and soft that they like melted like butter in your mouth. And ever since then, if I go to Subway and I see that they're hard, I'm like, no, these are not Irina cookies. I need Irina cookies. And Tiffany can't pronounce Irina, so she just calls them Irene cookies. Like, you're so racist. You can't pronounce an Eastern European woman's name correctly, and you're from Ukraine. But anyway, so yeah, if you want extra wedges, assuming Tom or Brooke is evicted, message me privately. Tom had 3, Brooke had 4. In addition, the 8 of you, or 9 of you, depending on how the eviction goes, who have not yet gone to the Lindor sampler, you have until 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight to privately message me whether or not you're eating a Lindor sampler if the wheel lands on you, and which one. We have milk, dark, white, orange, pistachio, sea salt, and fudge. 5 of them contain something good. 2 of them contain something bad. So you have a 71.43% chance of drawing something good. And I totally lost my train of thought. Yeah. Oh, and the Pooh Brown Power Veto is still in play. It is obviously one of the bad ones. Yeah, so Bridget, Brooke, if you survive, Callum, Javier, Kennedy, Kilby, Michael, Owen, and Tom, if you survive, you have until 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight to privately message me whether or not you are eating one of the Lindors, and if so, which one. Stephanie, you're not eligible. You had that hazelnut disadvantage. Jenna, you hold the Amethyst Power Veto. You're not eligible. Rayanne, you got the triple fast forward, and Cly, you got the double fast forward. And I think that's everybody. Yes. There was something else I wanted to say about that. Oh, and because it's a double eviction next week, we are going to the Lindor sampler to spin not once, but twice, which means 2 Lindors will be consumed tomorrow. So bear that in mind when making your decisions, that you have a 2 out of 8-ish, basically a 25% chance of the wheel landing on you. And if you have more wedges, you have an even higher chance than 25%. But Brooke will still not be landed on. She just has bad luck. Okay. I believe that's everything. Now it's time to get to the live eviction, Cly, Tom, and Brooke. Your house guests have cast their votes to evict, and I have the results. When I reveal the results of the eviction vote, the house guests will have about 15 minutes to say their goodbyes, gather their belongings before I kick you the fuck out of the Facebook group chat. Thanks for playing. Better luck next time. Okay, here we go. By a vote of 6 to 2 to 1, Brooke, you were chock-blocked out of a fast forward. Tom, you are evicted from the Big Brother Cheesecake 7 house. Oompa, loompa, doompa dee dee. You ate 14 coffee crisps for lunch. Now you have a tummy ache. Oompa, loompa, doompa, doompa dee doo. Tom, you have about 15 minutes to say your goodbyes before I kick you the fuck out of the Facebook group chat. Thanks for playing. Better luck next time. Tom, you have absolutely, probably out of everybody who has ever played Big Brother Cheesecake, with the exception of maybe Rhonda, both Rhondas, really, you have far, far, far exceeded my expectations. You're 74 years old. You don't understand the technology very well. Every time I've ever been on a Zoom call with you, you're always in and out, and oh, connections, this and that and the other. You're not the most social person. You're always at Costco, like some hermit crab or something. And I thought for sure you were going to enter the group chat day one, you were going to be overwhelmed from 80 trillion messages, and you were just going to leave the group chat the first day. And I thought to myself, crap, I'm not going to get my double eviction. He's just going to quit right away, and then we're going to be down to 15 right away. And you blew my mind. You were active in the group chat. You participated in... There were 8 competitions this season. You played in 7 of them because you were eligible for 3 of the vetoes. Or 4 of the vetoes. Did you play in every veto so far? Grand Game Reese's? Yeah, you played in every veto this season, and 3 of the 4 you sat out of the one, because you were outgoing HOH, the one Jenna won, the Eliminator. You sat out of that. So you played in 7 of the 8 competitions this season, and other than Chocoland, I would say you gave it your 100% in every competition. And you won 2 of them, double what Corey won last season. You were HOH as well. You got that experience. Brooke has played for a season and a half now, and she's still waiting for the first HOH. And a lot of people have played Big Brother Cheesecake and have never been head of household. So you did so well. You lasted an entire month. Today's day 29. You lasted a month in Big Brother Cheesecake. Most orgs that are out there, the entire game is a month and a bit and a change, like 30 to 40-ish days. So you've done an incredible job. I know it might be disappointing to be the 4th one out, but you wildly exceeded my expectations. Fun fact, Kat, from season 4 and 5, she bought John, our mutual friend, a key to the Big Brother Cheesecake house, valued at $40, and John, pussied out, I want to play. So I told Kat, because she gave me the money, and I'm like, bitch, you're not getting that money back. So you may as well find somebody else to play. And so we decided on Tom for hilarity and for fun reasons. And that was the best $40 that Kat could have possibly spent on a birthday gift for anybody. Because, like, Tom, you got the experience, and you were entertaining. You were popular. The alumni in the viewers lounge and the alumni chat, they were rooting for you. I mean, Karen and Steven were like your biggest fans of all time, and so were actually Corey. Everybody. There was nobody who was rooting against you. Everybody loves you. Now, I do have to also give a few negatives here and there. I will say, you're head of household Rain Week 2. When you win HOH early, that's your opportunity to build bridges and connections and network for later in the game, especially on an early HOH. And I think it was Rhonda who messaged me and said, I asked Tom, yeah, it was Rhonda. I asked Tom how many people he was working with, and he said 1. When at the time there were 15 people in the house, and great, you have a ride or die, whoop-de-doo. But to only be working with one person when you have HOH and the opportunity to make so many other connections that was kind of a slight letdown. And there were a lot of house guests who told me in the DR that you just weren't active with them. You would start a conversation about, I picked up a planter at Costco, and I think I'm going to put it in the front yard, not the backyard, so that people driving by can see the Costco planter in the front yard. And so there was kind of the struggle there of getting conversations. Your social game was, not 100%. It was 90%. And yeah, so I think that and not having an actual alliance, only having one close ally, that made it really tough for you. But again, I was expecting you to quit day 1. You made it 29 days. You won 2 competitions. You played for an entire month. You were active. Everybody loved you. And overall, besides maybe the 2 Rondas, you were probably the person who most impressed me in terms of my expectation of you was here, and you ended up here. So I loved having you. You're always welcome back, even though I have a feeling you will never, ever, ever want to play this again. But you you did so well. And I think the house guests didn't want to vote you out, but the other 2 options, Cly, let's face it, Cly has entered the invisibility land where I think for an entire week she has not messaged the group chat at all or messaged anybody in the house, I believe. So she's kind of the dead body from Weekend at Bernie's that everybody's just dragging along until you have a week where you need sort of a dead body to just flick off. And then Brooke was nominated by Willy Wonka, and Brooke, I think, has enough allies that she was covered enough that nobody wanted to go out there enough to make a second big move in a row. Because Ronnie was a big move last week, and I think this week, especially with the double coming up, people didn't want to make waves too much. And you had won 2 competitions. You were in the tied with Owen for the lead with most competition wins. And you also almost won Grand Game. And you've consistently done well in the comps. And you also had the dark blue color set and the railroads, which the house guests, I think, some of them wanted. So we'll discuss on Extra Whip what happens with those. And I hope you show up on Extra Whip because Nicole is dying to meet you. Which also means, Nicole, you lost your first member. It was your last pick, so I don't really blame you. But yes, you did lose Tom. He was evicted. So Team Krasil is now Rayanne, Bridget, Cly, Michael, Javier. And Team Nicole is Jenna, Owen, Stephanie, Brooke, Kilby, Callum, Kennedy. And I still think Team Nicole is stronger overall. Also, interesting, if you're paying attention to the cover photos, bottom row is really sucking at this. I mean, there's now 4 out of the 7 in the bottom row gone. And also, first time in Big Brother Cheesecake history, and I don't recall many instances of this happening in Canada or the US, we've started the season with 4 men in a row evicted. Yes, the men had a slight advantage of 9-7, but 4 men in a row have been evicted, and we are now at 7 women and 5 men. Coincidence? I don't know. But yeah, so interesting. 4 bottom row and 4 men evicted all in the first 4 weeks. Next week is a double eviction, though, so it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. Yeah, so Tom, again, thank you so much. I will message you for Extra Whip shortly, and yeah, you are an absolute delight. Okay, now it's time to get to the next Head of Household competition. Free from the threat of eviction, the Head of Household will win the perks of their private HOH bedroom bathroom, a video from home, a fruit basket with chocolate-covered blueberries, and the responsibility of nominating 3 of their fellow house guests for eviction. A reminder, it's double eviction week. The Head of Household will name 3 nominees. Willy Wonka names 1 nominee. That makes 4. The Topaz Power Veto must be used to save one of the 4 nominees, and there is no replacement nominee. So there is no backdoor this week. The Head of Household's power will end once they make their nominations. And if you are not an initial nominee, you are safe and you have made it to the final 10. Okay. As we know, the competition was called Big Brother Musical Chairs. In round 1, which was yesterday, we saw Callum eliminated, and in round 2, we saw Jenna eliminated. So, is everybody ready? Let's get to it. Let's begin. Okay, round 3. Dancing on the edge, but they take it too far. It's messing with my head, how I... 4. Bridget, mess with your heart. Owen, mess with your heart. Daniel, Kilby, mess with your heart. It's so weird saying Daniel. Javier, mess with your heart. Brooke, mess with your heart. Michael, mess with your heart. Steph, mess with your heart. Tom, mess with your heart. Kennedy, mess with your heart. The correct answer is mess with your heart. Kelly, or Cly rather, you are eliminated. Okay, round 4. Which was at 3 o'clock in the morning, Eastern Standard Time. I love this song, by the way. This is one of the best, in terms of the track, this is one of the best RuPaul's Drag Race Lip Sync for Your Life songs. I just love this song. I want to cut through the clouds, break the ceiling. I want to dance on the roof, you and me alone. I want to cut to the feeling. It's so hard not to sing it. I want to cut to the feeling. I want to play where you play. 3. And then Tom, who was posting pictures of his Hawaii trip, said, "Our hotel on Duke's Lane, it was Aqua Wave. Changed name, it's right by the..." And you cannot post anything after I did, so he accidentally eliminated himself. Brooke, Kennedy, and Kilby, and then Tom did have the right answer, which was With the Angels. But Tom is eliminated. What the fuck? I was posting about my pictures, then it came up. Damn, this game is rigged. I want to talk to the manager. Tom, in the end, it's much better that you didn't go 24 hours, win HOH, and then get evicted the next morning. Which has also never happened before in Big Brother Cheesecake. Okay. No IHOP for you. That's mean, Tom. I want IHOP. Okay. Round 5. Don't go yet. What you leaving for when my night is yours? Just 3. Bridget a little more. Owen a little more. Michael a little more. Kilby a little more. Brooke a little more. Steph a little more. Kennedy a little more, which is the correct answer. Javier was last. He is eliminated. Round 6. We were moonlight on the river, headlights on the hill. While that town was sleeping, we were shining. I was wrapped around your finger, young and wild and real. We knew we were forever. 3. Bridget, we were diamonds. Kilby, we were diamonds. Brooke, we were diamonds. Michael, we were diamonds. Steph, we were diamonds. Owen, we were diamonds. That is the correct answer. Kennedy was last. She was eliminated. It is so hard not to sing these. I played in a backyard version of The Mole in a live LRG game. It was The Mole, and The Mole, who was Chelsea McLean, shout out, she had a competition where she purposely had to speak songs as part of the way of sabotaging like a musical competition, and I totally understand now what she was going through, is trying to speak lyrics. Anyway, round 7 was a bit controversial. I said, spelling does not count for this one. And then I said, can you tell me who will still care? Can you tell me who will still care? Oh, okay, yeah. Bridget, mbop. Kilby, mbop. Brooke, mbop. Michael, mbop. Steph, mbop. Owen, mbop. But Michael put it as 2 words. Space, bop. I got a message from somebody who said Michael should be eliminated because he put in bop as 2 separate words, and I said 1 word. But because I said spelling does not count, and also grammar and punctuation does not count, and mbop is not an official word in the English dictionary, it was a gray area, and I said it's good enough, so I accepted it. And because Owen was last, Owen was eliminated. It wasn't going to matter, though, that Michael stayed in because, spoiler alert, Michael's going to go in the next round, round 8 of 11. I was just thinking about that. Oh, I love this song. I'm going to sing this one. I can't. I don't care if I'm a bad singer. Deal with it. Mute your Karen. Put your thingamajigs in your ear. Just put bubblegum in your ear. Okay. I was just thinking about that weekend out on Cumberland Lake, and that one time in Baton Rouge when we made out in the rain, when we were chasing falling stars on a hill at your daddy's farm. Don't be sorry for calling me up right out of the blue. I was just thinking about you. I know, terrible. Anyway, so this is interesting. Steph says, out of the blue eye, and it was 5 lyrics. Kilby out of the blue eye, Brooke out of the blue eye, Bridget out of the blue eye, Michael out of the blue eye. He's last, he's eliminated. I've heard this song. I've played this song probably 200 times in my car. Maybe 300 to 400 times. Dustin Lynch, who was Ronnie's voice, so outrageously sexy. Like, when I listen to this song, it just makes me, like, hard instantly. But anyway, I could have sworn it was, don't be sorry for calling me up right out of the blue. Right out of the blue. Apparently, it's don't be sorry for calling me up out of the blue. I hear right out of the blue, and I said this in the episode yesterday. There's a Taylor Swift song where I swear, and most of America swears. She says, got a lonely, I think, Starbucks lovers, and apparently it's star-crossed lovers. No, it's Starbucks lovers. But anyway, so I hear calling me up right out of the blue. I looked it up. It is just out of the blue. So they're all correct. I was wrong. And Michael is eliminated. Okay, round... Oh, and now it gets a little interesting. So, Steph says, and I won't do the voices just because we're way over time. So I have a proposition. Kilby says... So... If I win, I won't nominate any of you. I'm a woman of my word. Kilby responds, that means a lot. This has been brutal. Which is code for, no deal, bitch. Like, duh. Brooke just puts in a fire emoji. And then, Bridget says, on principle, I can't. He wouldn't want me to. And then she puts in a picture of Jason from Survivor Fans vs. Favorites. I don't know if you're referring, Bridget, to the stick thing when Jason tried to use a stick. And Eliza goes, that's not an idol, that's a stick. Because I have not rewatched that season in probably about 10 years. So I don't recognize. Maybe he fell off the endurance thing for food. Could be that too. Could be that too. Maybe he lost an endurance comp for food. Or he made a deal with somebody and then they screwed him over. But anyway. So then she says, I'm sorry, and Stephanie gives up and says, I understand, onward we go. At least I gave the episode some content. Yes, it did. Okay. Round 9. Deep in the dark, you surrender your heart, but you know that you... Kilby immediately. Can't fight the moonlight. Brooke can't fight the moonlight. Bridget can't fight the moonlight. Which is the correct answer. Stephanie was eliminated. So... Kilby goes, fucking love Leanne Rimes. And I said, sarcasm? Because Kilby does not strike me as a Leanne Rimes person. Steven, help me out here. Am I way off base? Like, that just, I don't feel like Kilby's personality matches Leanne Rimes. But anyway. So, that leaves us with, in case you're following along, Kilby, Brooke, and Bridget. Round 10. I love it when you do it like that, and when you're closer, give me the shivers. Baby, you want to dance till the 2. Kilby Sunlight Cracks. Bridget Sunlight Cracks. That is the correct answer. Brooke is eliminated. We are down to Kilby and Bridget. One of you is about to become the new head of household. Well, you already know at this point. But anyway. Round 11. I am in no hurry, take the long way home. Free on the highway, high on a song. Let the world stand still, let the time roll on. Yeah, it's been one word, saying minutes, which is the correct answer. Kilby! Congratulations, you are the new head of household. You have until tomorrow night, Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to privately message me your 3 nominees and a reason why. So tomorrow, what will happen at the Lindor Sampler is not 1, but 2 house guests will be tempted to eat a Lindor. Friday, find out who Kilby will nominate for Eviction, and we'll pick players for the Golden Car Veto competition, and Willy Wonka will nominate a 4th nominee. Saturday is Extra Whip, where Brazil, Nicole, and I will dish the dirt with Tom in what will surely be a hilarious episode. Sunday is the Topaz Power Veto competition, which is a very difficult competition, FYI. Monday is the Topaz Power Veto ceremony. Tuesday, the final 3 nominees plead their case. And Wednesday is the live double eviction, where not 1 but 2 house guests will be evicted from the Big Brother Cheesecake 7 house, get a tummy ache from eating too much chocolate, and lose their shot at the $700 cash prize. I'm Andrew Chefsick Moonves. Take care, and remember, what's the caramel secret? They put caramel in the chocolate bar. Duh. Good night.